Welcome back to the show, guys. We're going to go back to the roots. We're doing what we used to do much more on this channel, and that is looking at a bunch of UFO clips that are currently going viral and circulating on the internet, explain them, debunk them, make sense of them. So for today's video, I've prepared 3 clips that you guys actually sent to me over on our Discord and on Twitter. Okay, so join the Discord, the link's in the description. It's a lovely community, lots of people hanging out there, and that's the place where you can share your clips with me. And if they hold up and they do raise some questions and people can't immediately identify them, then I will possibly feature them in this show, explain them, debunk them. Now, before we look at the first clip of today's show, I want to kindly ask you to smash the like button, possibly subscribe to the channel if you not have yet done that and you're enjoying the content. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, the first clip we're going to look at today was posted on Twitter, and it is titled "A Fleet of Tic Tac shaped objects in Guangzhou, China," filmed on the 23rd of November 2024. So that is just about a week ago, actually a bit more than a week ago. But here we have a clip of an alleged fleet of Tic Tac shaped UFOs. I think it has audio. Let me see if it has audio. I'll play it for you guys. Let's check it out.
2024年11月23日，在广州上空出现了多个不明飞行物。这些飞行物形状各异，有的像飞碟，有的像大圆盘，还有的像大铁饼。它们时而悬浮在空中，时而又快速移动，而且数量众多，持续时间长。这难不成是外星人来度假了？
Right, so I'm gonna play this clip again, but without the audio, because I have no idea what this person is saying. I'm sure it's very, very crucial information. But here we see a bunch of alleged UFOs, white Tic Tac shaped UFOs in the sky. He made it very clear where it is, because there's a big red circle, and that shows you where you have to look. But look at them. They seem to differ in size, right? Which seems to indicate that they are distributed across the sky. The ones in the distance back here is like smaller, it's further away. Then the ones that are close to the camera are slightly bigger. Now, something I noticed immediately, okay, I can't lie to you guys, is that they are not really tic-tac shaped. They are more elliptical. Do you see this one here? It looks like an ellipse, right? Also, I noticed 2 more things. The first one is that they flicker, right? Especially this one, you can see it here, this one there, right? They're flickering. So that makes me wonder, like, is there even a physicality to it? Because that's the other thing I noticed. There's no light or shadow on it. Other TikTok videos that we get, you have a light side on top where the sun comes from above, or the light, you know, from our atmosphere shines on top. And then you have a slightly darker side underneath with a bit of shadow. So that clearly delineates that it's a physical object, right? Slightly brighter on top, slightly darker underneath. But that's not the case here. These objects, whatever they are, and there are loads of them in the sky, are monochrome, for lack of a better word, right? They only have one color and they do flicker. Now, I think most of you guys, and by the way, this is something we do on this show. As I'm describing this, as I talk about these videos and play them, you guys can go down in the comments and already speculate what it is, okay? You might already have an idea. And I think looking at it now for the whatever it is, 5th time, it's pretty clear what this is. But I love the video nonetheless, okay? It is a reflection of LED ceiling lights. That's all it is. The person filming it is standing in front of a big window. It's like some kind of balcony, presumably, or like just a big window. And he has these ceiling lights, like spotlights behind him. And that's why this is basically a reflection of his room, right? The lights on the ceiling in his room. So you see the lights there, the centered lights here, and then some more lights on the left-hand side. And that might also be why in the middle there are only 2 lights, because maybe he's standing here, he or she, I don't know who filmed it, obviously, but like, standing here and his head and his body is blocking out the other lights, so you only see the lights in the further distance on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. But that's also the reason why the objects are flickering, because if you record LED lights with your phone, often you get the effect of it flickering, right? We've seen it many times. It's pretty common, and to be honest, it's a dead giveaway. So, I mean, it's not a crazy video, but I did see it on Twitter, and there were still a bunch of people who couldn't decipher what it actually is. People saying it's just drones, right? All of this is just drone tech at this point. The Tic Tac craft are actually manufactured by Boeing. These do not share the same characteristics. So, what? Shoot them down! American detected. Is it just me, or are sightings massively increasing? Actually, I'm working on a video covering that as well, because that's something you see everywhere, right? So subscribe to the channel for that video coming up in the near future about all these new sightings. We have unprecedented amounts of sightings everywhere, but it is just ceiling lights, and I give this one a big and juicy debunked. Now, the next one has really made the rounds on social media in the past week, and I realized last 10 days or something, and that is that a bunch of mysterious lights have been captured over the Capitol Hill, causing a UFO panic in DC. Is anyone in DC? Can you guys confirm, is there a UFO panic in DC? Because That part I missed. But I guess the photo that most went viral is this one, right? And you see these 4 lights sitting above the Capitol. And to me, it immediately evokes some memories of like the Battle of Los Angeles imagery and all that. But if it would be just this one image, I'm not sure it would be worth talking about it, but people have shared another clip that seems to go hand in hand with this, that shows a bunch of lights flying over DC, and I'll share it with you guys here. Check it out. So these lights coming on, they're all moving very slowly, moving around. So it's also 4 lights, so people immediately make the connection. They're like, oh God, it's DC, 4 lights over the Capitol. It's got to be the same thing. Here we have 4 lights. And it's definitely aliens. Okay, that we don't know much about it, but that we know it has to be aliens. Actually, there's a 5th light up here now as well. So I don't know. Maybe we just missed one of the aliens in the other photo. I'll link these tweets, all the tweets I talk about. I'll link them down in the description so you can go check them out yourself. Now, this picture has really made some waves in the past week. It's got so big that even news websites spoke about that, saying UFO over Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., fact-checking the viral photos. And they're giving the fairly simple explanation. That's what I've seen as well. That the 4 lights above are literally a reflection of the 4 lights underneath. We've seen it in countless other videos. It happens. You get these lens reflections where lights underneath, like we had it in the Bullhead, Arizona video, the same thing, right? You have the city at the bottom and then the lights of the city reflect in the sky due to the camera lens. So that's exactly what it is. And you can see the constellation or the layout of the lights is a perfect match. I think that's what it is. And this tweet by John Greenwald also gives another example, right? Saying that lights above the Capitol have somewhat of a history, right? Because there are loads of these lights underneath and they often do reflect in camera lenses. This is a much older photo, but it's the same effect, right? These are just the lights that you see down here being reflected over the Capitol. And if you don't know this effect, you're not aware of it, you can easily be tricked in believing it's aliens. Well, but there's still the second video, okay? Now, to this one, I have to say, now that we know that the other photo is basically just a reflection, it's obviously a completely unrelated thing. And people have roughly determined the location where this guy was, because I think you can see the Capitol on the right-hand side here, right? So it gave people a little bit of an indicator of where this footage was taken from. And it turns out he's filming to the direction of the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, the DCA. And these are just planes. It's just airliners lining up to land. And lots of you guys may not know this, but airliner landing lights are extremely bright. They can be visible for 20 miles, even 40 miles if the conditions are good. So that makes a lot of sense in terms of the brightness. And actually, if you look very, very close to these lights, and I'm probably going to try to zoom in a little bit here, you can even see them blinking. Look at this one here. Do you see this? You can, if you look closely, I mean, it's a potato camera. It's night footage, low lighting conditions. It's not great footage, but you can somewhat see the blinking of the red lights that are on the airplane. So that's also why we have no other angles of this incredible phenomenon. Okay, you only have this one angle because it's just planes. And anyone else who can count to 15 would be seeing this and say, yes, it's a bunch of planes. I don't need to film that and claim it's UFOs. But whoever filmed this felt the need to do exactly that. And that is also the reason why they appear almost completely motionless, right? Like if they would be swirling around and flying up into space and coming down or whatnot, we kind of know the parameters and properties that we're looking for when trying to identify an object that is actually potentially extraterrestrial. But these are almost motionless, and that is because they are airplanes that are really, really far away. So to the naked eye, they appear almost motionless, and they most definitely don't do any irrational maneuvers in the sky. So this is completely unrelated. It's a bunch of airliners. The other one is a bunch of reflections. And again, we get people making the connections and thinking that it's the same thing, but it's clearly debunked. 2 in a row. Now, the last one I want to share with you guys is a real fun one. And this one has been spotted on Google Earth at the Mount Shasta Ski Park in, where is this? In California. I knew this. I'm just testing you guys. Now, this find goes back to a YouTube video that originally found this anomaly, and that was uploaded by a YouTube account called Alien Disclosure Group. Okay, so they're sharing a bunch of street view angles from this ski park, looking up into the sky, and you see an object. Now, I don't know why they're showing the worst object here, but you can see it a little bit here, and obviously I found the exact location. Let's look at it on Street View. Check this out, right? So here we have the slopes, okay, over here, like a bit of a ski lift. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Oh no, I thought he fell from the ski lift and hurt himself. Jeez, I was concerned there for a second. But I think he's just snowboarding. He's just making crazy maneuvers on his snowboard. Meanwhile, right above his head, unbeknownst to him, aliens. Obviously, alien floating around. And as you move around, let me move a bit further, you can still see it, right? It sits somewhat in the same position in the sky. Let me keep going a bit forward. There it is. Now it moved slightly to the right. Now what's interesting about this one, and when I first saw it, I was like, wait a second, is that it seems to be silverish underneath, right? It seems to be reflecting some of the sky, and then it has like this black edge that sits around it. And I mean, it's more of a funny one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's pretty obvious what it is, but I still wanted to share it. I'm sure you've guessed it by now. What we see here is just a water droplet. It's a water droplet on the lens that gives the illusion of it being some kind of object. And that is pretty clear because as you walk around further closer to the trees on this Google Street View angle, you get images like this one, where now the object sits in front of a tree. And there's a bunch of other ones here. You know, you see that one. You can see the object is now in front of a tree. So that's a very small, kind of cute UFO that's very close to the camera and still filters the trees, what is behind it, exactly like a water droplet. It's a coincidence, or it's just a water droplet on the lens, which also makes a lot of sense because I assume like a guy with a camera on his head skiing down the slope recorded this for Google. Again, I'm making assumptions here, but as some of you may know, snow is basically water. So as some snow would be splashing against the lens, it would then be melting and become a water droplet, and that's how you get an effect like this. But there's one more layer of beauty to this whole thing because, as I said earlier, it's like not super hidden. It gave me a little bit of a moment of like, wait a second, what the heck is that? But then the second you get the water droplet idea, you're like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So obviously a lot of people on this original video sharing the Street View sighting, people pointed it out in the comments, right? So what do you do if you are the alien disclosure group and you are definitely all about alien disclosure and people point out that the alien UFO that you just pointed out is actually a water droplet in the comments? That's right. You deactivate the comments. I love this. It's like, can you guys stop pointing out that it's a completely rational, logical thing and it has nothing to do with aliens, please? We're disclosuring here. It's about disclosure, not about water droplets. Deactivate the comments. So beautiful stuff there. You know I love these kinds of things. So guys, that's it for today. 3 clips that you guys sent to me that left some of you guys confused. I love all of them. I think they're fantastic. And hopefully I could shed a little bit of light on them and explain to you guys what we were looking at. Guys, if you enjoyed the show and you want to see more, smash the like button. Maybe leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel. You can also join our Discord. Again, the link is in the description. I would appreciate to meet you over there. As I said, you can share clips with me. You can let me know your thoughts about my videos. If you think all my videos are complete garbage, then let me know over on our Discord. I would appreciate all of this. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out. Bye.